Hello everyone and welcome back to Front Porch Wisdom. You're back with T.N.T. and we are still on part 1 going into part 2 of relationships. And so wanted to thank you. I hope everyone is having a blessed day so far. And today we're going to be talking to Dr. Terry Schofield once again about relationships, and hopefully he can enlighten us on a lot of information, good information, resourceful information about some help that we could use in our marriages and just relationships in general. So here's Dr. T.
All right. Well, relationships are very difficult, but what I want to do this is I want you to ask, we got 3 questions that we want to push out and we're going to talk from today. So maybe if you could just ask me those questions and then I'll just go point by point on answers to those questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Good.
What's the first question that we had from other people that wanted to know?
Okay, well, someone had asked, what's the biggest barrier of happiness?
Well, Teresa, that's a good question. I think the biggest barrier to what happiness is people don't understand, have a clear meaning of what happiness is. Even the husband doesn't know what makes him happy. The wife doesn't know totally what makes him happy. And another obstacle toward understanding these things of happiness is the things in a relationship that are required for that. A lot of times people don't understand how to get to that happiness for the other person because they don't even really know for that relationship what the relationship happiness is. Because we have been taught from our families what happiness is. So we bring that issue, that baggage in here, trying to figure out and use that as something to look at. And then when it ain't going on in here, then we think that we ain't got what's going on in here because it's not looking like happiness. So a lot of times it hadn't been ours, it's somebody else's happiness on us. And then when we don't see it, it doesn't give the relationship the credence or the credit that it may already be in a happy relationship. It's just that it ain't our mama's happiness or our daddy's happiness the way we saw when we grew up, But some people, well, thank you. I just think that sometimes we don't, with those things, we just don't really understand what that happiness is.
Okay. A second question was, why are you mad all the time?
Wow. Why are you mad? Mean and dogging is an acronym for mad. Mean and dogging. So a lot of times, I don't know, for women, when I hear from men are saying you guys are always mad. Or if you're not mad, it seems like you guys are acting like you're mad. Or it could be that we have such a defense. I talked about that on the last show. We have such a fence already up that when you guys are trying to talk to us or reach to us, we become like we are being invaded. So we interpret an honest way of you guys trying to reach out to us is that you're invading us. And we don't know how to say, you're invading us. Because that sounds kind of like a punk. We don't want to be, we're a man, right? So we can leap tall buildings at a single bound. But, that vulnerability thing makes us feel even weaker. So maybe the madness is an inability to be able to interpret what the other person is doing or how it's making you feel. So we become mad because of the interpretation where we think you're mad. Now, the second thing is we feel like women are always mad because of the way you guys talk at us. You're talking at us, not with us. And sometimes, the talking at us, we kind of know the difference. And I'm sure that women, you feel the same way, where the man is trying to talk to you, but it seems like he's got a, volume in his voice, or he's attacking you with what he's saying. Those are difficult things. And madness, people become angry in marriage for a whole lot of reasons. Rejection, abandonment, they're just mad for like things ain't going their way. When they should, what do you think? I just think they should sit down and just talk about it,
I totally agree. Again, in the last video, communication was one of my sticklers. So, talking it out, hearing each other's opinions, because you can shed light. We don't know everything, and I told you before, I welcome wisdom. So, sometimes I think I know everything and I don't know anything. So just being able to share what someone else's opinions or thoughts are can help and enlighten you about a whole lot of things, and it sometimes can even show you that you was wrong in your thought process. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay not to be right all the time.
Right.
And then a third question that was brought to our attention was, what's the relationship dance?
The relationship dance. Well, let me tell you when you know you're in a relationship dance. Have you ever been in a relationship where you get to that point where we say we have differences of opinion? We don't argue, right? When we're married, we have differences of opinion. And it seems like the same old waltz. It seems like, you can't get across. It's like you're talking at each other instead of with each other. You can feel the presence of that this thing is going the same way it went before. Anybody with me out there in TV land? And so the relationship dance is really all about, like you said, Teresa, miscommunication. It's about preventing yourself from listening to the other person and having an environment, changing that environment of two people going at each other instead of people listening to each other. Take a breath.
Woosah.
Yeah, woosah. And then think, listen. Listen to be heard instead of listen to be talked to. Just, listen. Hear what your mate may be saying to you. Taking the time out. Because a lot of people in the relationship dance have confused the relationship dance with incompatibility. But it's not that they're incompatible, they're just not getting the dance thing right. They've been looking at other people's dance. They looked at the mama, how the mama danced with the daddy, how the granddaddy danced with the daddy, how Medea danced with whoever it was on her films. And so we all have learned the waltz that doesn't work. Everybody's waltz don't work in their relationship. You got to learn how to dance with your wife. You got to learn how to dance with your husband. And the first way is, with a good dance, you got to allow that man to lead. You got to allow that man to lead the dance, and then you follow sometimes. And men, sometimes you got to allow that woman to be able to allow you to be able to feel when she allows you to dance with her, when she wants you close to her. And you got to listen to her emotions. And that's what we do. We don't listen enough when we get into that dance. And when that dance starts, it's hard to stop, because when we get into the dance, the music's going, we don't want it to stop. For some reason, we need to call a halt when the dance is going the wrong place, because some things just can't be resolved in the times that you got, during the times that you got those situations in your relationships. Relationships are very hard. When you agree?
Absolutely.
Marriages are very difficult. 65% of Christian marriages are ending in divorce. Divorce in the Western society, we're leading it. So we have forgotten about what to do. That's why if you get the book, Why We Do What We Do, a little pen for me, in relationships, Dr. T. And also, I've got another book, Black Married and Not Feeling It. Some of you guys might say, wow, black married and not feeling it? What's that about? What's the difference between black married and not feeling it and not feeling it? I said, it's not. Everybody's not feeling it. But that book is called Black Married and Not Feeling It. But there's similar things in there that if you're in a marriage and not feeling it, it's the things that you understand in a marriage that you're not feeling, and to get answers and how to get back to feeling in the marriage. So when people hear that title, a wall goes up. But maybe it'll cause you to peek inside there and try to find out what dance you ain't doing right. So you check that book out on Amazon and Kindle and get some answers and sit down. It's a workbook setting where you can work out these things. But like you said, the biggest barrier toward happiness is that people don't understand what happiness is. I would think that how they're mad all the time is how we interpret things and what we see. We're all mad. Mad is a good expression sometimes. The Bible says, to be angry but sin not. So anger is good, but the sin is to go on and allow your madness to attack people with it. That's not a good thing. So mad is a good emotion. You got to have it. It's part of being human. And also the relationship dance, sit back and listen. Find out the way you dance, and be willing to learn a whole new way of dancing, in relationships. And I think that'll be that'll be pretty good. The two things that I said in my research that women said that they wanted men to learn to do, like I said on the last session, was that men don't know how to be there for them. And men said that because all they think men want to do is have sex and have their money and have their food cooked, you know? Or women feel like, sometimes men feel like the women argue at them all the time, or they attack them all the time. They feel like they're defensive and angry, you know? And understanding those things and being real in your relationship is a good place to start. You know, you want to grow from those places of understanding people like that, because people are not really like that. And the number one thing is I don't think they want to be like that. But we get lost. We get lost. So we got to understand that if we were doing this relationship things right, wouldn't be as many divorces and wouldn't be as many unhappy people in relationships today. And so I think those things are very important.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Thank you.
Also, too, guys, that was a mouthful of wisdom and knowledge right there. Really excellent, good points. And hopefully they helped you or helped somebody to decide and make good choices and next steps in their marriage. Maybe to the next day, the next week, next month. But nevertheless, make a start. Because the more you make more starts and you start to do, you start practicing, then you start becoming. And so that's what we want for everyone, even with our own marriages. It's for everybody to have better marriages so the divorce rate can go down, you know, because we honor marriage. God put marriages together as a union for a reason. And he said that man should not be alone. And so he gave Adam Eve. So God does believe and honors marriages.
And Teresa, that's a great point. And the big thing I think in relationships, Teresa, the big thing I want to leave you guys with is whenever you think you see a defense, when you see a person that's defensive, I've been defensive in this relationship. Teresa's been defensive in our relationship. But when you see a fence, don't be offended by the fence. Because when you get offended by a fence, you put a fence up yourself. So everybody's standing on the other side of the fence, looking through that fence at another person's fence. So what you do is understand, like I said last time, the person on the other side of that fence is feeling like they are being invaded. They put the fence up to be protected. First thing I want to say this, get rid of the fences. Understand that the person over here, if you see the fence, if you're the first one to see it, don't try to jump over the fence. Understand what's going on the other side of the fence. Humble yourself and know that that person feels like they're unprotected. And lastly, just take a moment and just think about it before you react. Show kindness. Take some time to resolve and think about what's really going on. But first, look inside yourself. And then respond in the right way. I guarantee you, your relationship will be off the chain. We all are learning. We all got those issues. So don't feel alone. Me and Teresa are here to help you at any time. But that's kind of the key, is looking at those fences and not interpreting them like it's time to be offensive. So don't be offensive when you find a defense. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't be on the offense when you see a defense, and don't get defensive when you see a defense. Take that.
Okay, so once again, we've heard from Dr. T, Terry Schofield. Would you like to leave with our family information of how they can find you?
Well, thank you. Well, I have 2 books out, Black, Married, and Not Feeling It. It's off the chain. You got to get that book. It's on Amazon and Kindle. And also, Why We Do What We Do, helping you make better relationship choices from Dr. T, the relationship expert. I've also finished a book with Dr. Ron Bailey, who's the former president of the National Medical Association, which is the African-American branch of the American Medical Association, on intimate partner violence among African-American couples. So me and Teresa, we doing this thing, a tag team together. I love her. We a tag team. We trying to help you in your relationship, help you soar and become a better you, so that you guys can become a better we.
All right. So, guys, we want to thank you, Dr. T, for your time once again.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, family, for subscribing to Front Porch Wisdom. Again, Front Porch Wisdom wouldn't be what it is without you guys. And I thank you to all my subscribers. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below for any topics you love to hear me and Dr. T talk or discuss. Hit the notification bell. It will alert you to any and all videos that I upload. And by all means, please subscribe. Share this video with someone that you think that would benefit from this, that you may know that are having some problems or difficulties in their marriage right now. Please share this with them. You never know how something like this may encourage or help somebody, that may be struggling in their marriage or relationships. But anyway, guys, I hope you all are having a blessed day. Take care, stay safe, and you know what time it is. I see you on the porch.